Good afternoon, this is Deanna, doTERRA Blue Diamond with your doTERRA oil a day. Today we will be talking about a commonly used oil called oregano. What I'm holding here is I'm actually holding Oregano Touch, which is a version of some of our oils where we have already pre-diluted them based on how hot they are to the skin. And we've put them in a roller bottle for convenience and for safety. So I love the touch rollers, especially for the hot oils like oregano, because I don't have to worry about having fractionated coconut oil with me on hand as I'm going out and about. I don't have to worry about if I've used enough for however sensitive my skin is. My skin is pretty sensitive. I also have a 3-year-old, and I want to be able to just kind of what I call stop, drop, and roll with him and just kind of swipe it on really fast and not have to worry about mixing it in my hand or in another roller. So I am kind of like a lazy oiler. I like things to be fast and easy and convenient, and so I love the touch rollers. But of course it comes in the dripping bottle as well, and that would be great if you wanted to add it to a capsule. So why would you add it to a capsule? doTERRA makes veggie caps, which are exactly what they sound like. They're capsules made of a vegetable substance, and you can put like 1 or 2 drops of an oil in there. I probably wouldn't go more than 3, maybe 4 tops. So if you're looking at a recipe that has like 6 drops of this and 8 drops of that, that would be something to mix up together in another bottle and then only use like 2 or 3 drops of that mixture at a time. But why would you use oregano in a capsule is it's super hot, so there's really no other good way to take it internally. So if I have some kind of oozing wound or something that's all red and swollen, or I've got some sort of threat that is happening outside of my cells that is really trying to wreak havoc throughout my bloodstream, then instead of taking something synthetic that could harm the good things in my body, I'm going to actually use oregano. Oregano is wonderful for any of those kinds of things, and so I would probably take it for 7 to 10 days, maybe 3 times a day. I always have learned to take it with a little food because it is so strong that it can be, on an empty stomach, you could just be kind of burping it up throughout the day, and it's really not that awesome the second time around. I also take it with a full glass of water so it doesn't get kind of stuck in the throat. It's really powerful. I know there's a lot of people, when I tell them how powerful oregano is and not to put it under their tongue and not to put it in water, they say, oh, I've been using oil of oregano for years and we take it right under our tongue and we're Italian or we're this and that and we're used to strong spices. But this is not your happy homeowner oil of oregano. This is a legitimate oregano essential oil. It's not been diluted, it's not been adulterated, it's not synthetic. It is pure oregano, and it is so hot. So do not do that. Trust me when I tell you. I have had some experiences with using some of these oils like that, thinking that I was a pretty tough cookie, and I'm not as tough as I thought. So I would just take it in a capsule or use it in the touch roller anywhere on your skin. You will smell like a pizza, but at least it won't burn. Or you can put it straight or neat on the bottoms of your feet. So if you're fighting something pretty bad throughout your bloodstream, then you want to try to use it for 7 to 10 days, about 3 times a day. Okay. Another thing people use it for is warts. If you take a little bit, maybe like on a toothpick or even a Q-tip, and kind of dab it directly onto the wart, then you just can maybe do that twice a day for a while, and a lot of people have had great success with that. Another thing that I have used oregano for is for like if I twist my ankle or something like that and I have swelling. I don't know why exactly, but I've been able to use oregano straight without a carrier oil right on my ankle. I had a really giant swollen ankle from twisting it, falling up some stairs. I was jogging up some stairs and kind of fell and twisted it, and it was pretty swollen, and I just did maybe 3 drops of oregano on that, went to bed, next morning woke up and it looked like a normal ankle. So it's pretty amazing for helping your body create a normal inflammatory response. I've also used it for back pain. Again, you're going to want to use the touch roller and or heavily dilute it with coconut oil if you do that. I love to cook with oregano. My 2 favorite ways to do that is after I've made some marinara sauce. I will take a toothpick and put it down in, not this one, but the dripping bottle. Put the toothpick down into it, swirl it around, and then swirl it into my sauce. It is way better than even fresh oregano because it's so strong. So I don't even need a full drop. I just need to kind of dip that toothpick in there and swirl it in my sauce. I also use it as a marinade for chicken a lot. If I am baking chicken or sauteing chicken breast or anything like that, I will make some extra virgin olive oil. I'll add some lemon oil, some lime oil, maybe black pepper oil, a little bit of rosemary, and maybe 1 drop of oregano and 1 drop of thyme. And then I just kind of mix it all together and either pour it over and marinate, or as I'm cooking, if I'm sauteing, then I will spray, kind of put it in a spray bottle and just kind of spray it on the meat as it's finishing up cooking. And it is absolutely amazing. You will not taste flavored foods like you will when you are cooking with doTERRA oils. There's just nothing that compares. So those are some of the good reasons for oregano. I've heard people say that they've gargled with it and stuff like that when they have a sore throat. Bless their hearts. I can't do that. I would much rather do On Guard and then take the oregano in a capsule. But what I have noticed is very early in my oil journey, I noticed that if I would wake up in the morning, and usually if I'm starting to feel like I'm coming down with something, it starts with like a little bit of a scratchy throat. If immediately I would go and take oregano and do that maybe 3 times that day, I usually never really finished coming down with whatever it was. If I caught it early enough, oregano would zap it really, really fast. Nowadays, I also do arbor vitae oil when that happens, and I kind of put it behind my ears or up the spine or something like that. And it is absolutely incredible. There is a recipe out there called the Steaming Hot Mug of Death, and that's really good for when you got some cooties up in the sinus area, and you can look for that out on the interwebs. You should be able to find it. It's just a way of adding oils to a hot mug of water and then closing your eyes. That's a very important step, and inhaling the oil, and it kind of, the steam and the heat just drive the oils deeper, and so it's really good for those sinus issues. As far as emotional reasons for using oregano, it is the oil of humility and the oil of unattachment. And so what that kind of means is that sometimes we can be very prideful and very stuck in our opinions and just not open to the opinions of others, and thinking that we are, people are trying to teach us things that they've actually done before and that they actually know what they're doing, but we're just so stuck in our ways that we'd rather continue failing than to consider that we could be wrong. And we try to sway other people to our opinion at the same time, even though it's still wrong. And so it's just it's kind of a matter of pride and being unwilling to bend to the opinions of others. And sometimes, I know it's hard to believe, but occasionally other people have good opinions. And even if they don't, it's nice to listen and consider them, because you can at least learn to empathize with somebody else's point of view. That is not, I wouldn't say that is my most strong characteristic in life. I do tend to be more on the opinionated side, but I feel that over the last few years that I have learned to be more open, and that is something that we can learn, and oregano can help you do that. Maybe inhaling some from the bottle. I would not diffuse oregano. I have done that before, and I think it wasn't very pleasant, so I would not recommend that. But you could inhale it out of the bottle and maybe just think some sort of a statement like, I am open to learning from others. You'd be surprised when you open your mind that you can consider somebody else's opinion. As far as the unattachment thing, I think what it is just like getting unhealthy attachments to things like materialistic items. So some people are just super, super attached, and they can even become like a hoarder, or they can become a person who gets really high in debt because they just can't stop collecting the material items, and they have to have the latest this and that to their own detriment. Or it can be an unhealthy attachment to a certain relationship. There are relationships out there that we need to cut ties with. We can love people, but we need to keep them at a distance if it is an unhealthy relationship. And so this oil can help encourage you to end toxic relationships. Maybe a job that is really toxic for you, that is not healthy, that you need to get out of. Those types of situations. And so oregano can kind of sever those ties with unhealthy or toxic relationships as well. I hope that you've learned something new or remembered something old, and I hope that you will share your tips and your stories. I love reading your comments, so please do that, but also that you would share the video because somebody else may learn as well. We're here at facebook.com/oil shares every weekday from well, not from, but at 1 o'clock Eastern Time. And then every Sunday at 9 p.m., we have a 30-minute event called Essential Oils Are Not Magic Beans. Feel free to invite your friends. We will always, always direct them back to talk with you if you are the person that invited them, but we just want to be there to help educate people about essential oils. So feel free to invite your friends and family to that, or just jump on and learn with us. We always love having our guests. It's great seeing all of your comments, great seeing you, and hopefully I'll do my best to be back tomorrow. I'll be in a training tomorrow and Friday, but I will do my best to try to hop on for a few minutes. If it's not right on time, then I will try my best anyway. So we'll see you, and have a great day. Shine on.